till the end of the session today, just so we can get through it all, the material in a timely manner. And when it does come to the questions, just kind of focus your attention on the two little black arrows that are on your screen. This is how we'll ask that you interact today if you choose to interact. The first little black arrow is pointing to the little hand. You can raise your hand, and we'll see that, and we'll go ahead and call on you so that you can ask your question, and I'll unmute your line on your side, and you'll be able to ask the question to the group. It's probably not the preferred way to do it. A lot of us, I can see, are not using their phone to call in. They're actually just listening through their computer speakers, which means you may or may not have a microphone to be able to audibly ask your question. So the preferred method for most of us today is probably going to be the second little black arrow. Just use your little control panel on the right side of the screen, is usually where it is, to type in your question and send in your question that way. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jim and the team from MSC. Jim, why don't you go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
All right, and then we're going to make Jim's screen the boss here. Jim, go ahead and on your side, if you could just show your screen, and then we'll turn it over to you.
Sure.
All right, looks good. Looks good on our end. Take it away.
Okay. One second, please. I'm going to try to change something on my screen. You know how I get rid of this, just so I can see this. You just did before. I can probably figure it out. I'll just do that. Okay, everybody. Well, the topic today is print to digital migration planning. And to kind of set the stage, what we're going to try to cover today. And by the way, with me here at our office in Chandler, Arizona is Janet Smith, Matt Saunders, Paulino Leone, and Shane Massey. And so when I get the really difficult questions, I'll ask one of those four to help me out with it. But we're going to touch on the print to digital migration planning that a lot of stores that we work with around the country are talking about, or they're actively starting a migration plan to go from a solely print-based program to more digital and less print. So we'll be talking about who should consider it, what print to digital migrations are, when stores should begin their planning process, and why they should consider a well-designed plan. Some of you may have attended a workshop that I did at in Omaha a couple years ago. It was on Thursday, March 6th in 2014. And I talked about print to digital migrations and really focused more on the economics of it and why it made sense to look at planning a print to digital migration. And back then, the questions that I brought up had to do with starting the print to digital migration, or why wouldn't you want to do a print to digital migration, or at least plan it in the future. And some of the feedback I got was, I want to wait until my competitors stop printing, and then when they stop, then I'll go ahead and start. And that's really not the wisest of plans, to wait until your competitors do what they feel is advantageous to them, and then try to emulate that. Also heard from retailers saying that they're really concerned that their customers may equate no distributed print ad with nothing being on sale in the store. That they really need to have that print ad just to make sure people know that things are on sale. The third thing that I heard was that there was a lot of concern because, at least at that time, a lot of the stores didn't understand how to do digital marketing. What are the right items to promote? When should I promote them? How long should I promote them? And what technology tools should I use? And then also some that were saying that their newspaper or whoever it is that's doing their inserting was covering their entire marketing area, and they needed to make sure that their message was going to everyone in the marketing area. That said, it's obvious that just because the distribution pattern is such that everyone in the market area is going to get the ad doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is reading the ad. So I had mentioned then that you need to keep in mind that stopping ad distribution does not equate to not advertising. We're talking about the physical distribution of the ad, whether it's inserted in a newspaper or direct mailed, U.S. Postal Service. Stopping the distribution does not equate to stop that you're not advertising. Also that you won't be a pioneer in this process of migrating over a period of time from print to digital. In fact, we've had retailers from affiliated foods already complete their migration, and I believe Janet and others here in this room are working with another group of 6 or 7 stores that are in the process of starting their migration as we speak. And stopping the print ads means that I guess some are concerned that if they're following an ad that someone else is writing, they're making adjustments to that ad and having it distributed, that if you don't have a print ad that's distributed, then how do you make sure that you're going to get a well-balanced ad with appropriate ad markdowns? When it comes to features, sub-features, liners, if those things go away, what's going to happen to my ad markdowns, and how can it be managed? And then also wanted to keep in mind that you really shouldn't start a migration without a very, very solid migration plan. There are retailers that I've spoken with that have said that they're going from print to digital, and it really is literally flipping the switch when they do that. And without the plan, it's extremely risky to your business to be doing that. So we want you to know that we are not suggesting that you don't print ads. In fact, we're encouraging stores that are starting migration plans to have store copies available for those customers that come in the store and maybe they don't own a smartphone or they don't go to the internet at all. At least there are copies of the ads that are in the store during the transition. And secondly, we are suggesting the stores that they would stop physically distributing ads because there are fewer subscribers that are paying subscriptions to newspapers. Most households aren't reading the free newspaper inserted ads, and that many, especially millennials, when they open their mailbox and they see a pile of ads that are stuffed in the mailbox, they review it much like most people would review spam in basket of email. And I know just yesterday, Matt and I were in Cincinnati with a wholesaler working with their retailers at a management conference, and one of their long-established retailers came to me and said that his newspaper, the distributor, had come to him, and he was printing 6,000 ads a week, and the newspaper distributor had told him recently, you're sending me too many ads. You're sending me 1,500 more ads than I need to distribute because we don't have that many people that are getting this paper. So you can save printing expense and don't print 1,500. So, as their circulation declines, it makes it tougher to get your ads out. So the print to digital marketing program that we're going to suggest is something that is not overnight. It's something that each store needs to take the period of time they're comfortable with in order to adjust to a stronger digital marketing program. And that program, in order to get a smooth transition, then there's a need for us, for MSC, to help each store that is going to go through that migration to successfully do the right things at the right time, to maintain all of their current customers, and also find ways to recruit new customers without having print being involved, or that it doesn't demand that you have to print. And instead of continually using the words print to digital, I'm just abbreviating on the screen, it's P2D. Now, because there are thousands of stores around the country, and not just in the grocery business, but in all retail businesses looking at reducing print and going more into digital, for us it's extremely difficult to be working with large numbers of stores that are each picking different times and dates that they want to go from print to digital, and to try to help them. And then as soon as we hang up the phone, the next store wants to do it 2 weeks later, and so we're trying to help them with the week-by-week plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to have print to digital migration waves, so that if there are stores that are ready to begin the process, at the beginning of each quarter, we're going to have a wave where we'll take, it could be one store or it could be 100 stores, but whatever number of stores want to begin the process, then at the beginning of each quarter, we'll be working with those groups of stores to say, here's what you can do to start your process. Now, it does not mean that, as an example, if stores want to start with the October kickoff and start the program, that they stop distributing ads in October. What it means is they begin the program in October, and they may not decide to stop their print distribution until January or April. But they're beginning the process of starting to cultivate more and more customers to digital. And if they can successfully do that in 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 13 weeks, then great. They can do it when they're comfortable. But it takes time, and we want to encourage stores to be thinking about when they want to start and then join in that wave so that they can get the same information as others and do some joint promotions as well while they're in that transition or migration. So why reminding everyone why would this happen? Millennials and newer generations, they're not using print ads, period. They're just not interested in subscribing to print magazines or print newspapers or looking at printed ads. The distribution expenses for insert ads continues to rise despite lower readership. And then there's a need to convert shoppers and prospective shoppers to digital marketing. And over what period of time should this happen? We are suggesting that there's a minimum that we recommend that you take a minimum of 3 months from the time that you start in your wave to begin increasing the amount of digital marketing you're doing before you go ahead and decide that you're going to go to store copies only, or that you don't have any printed ads. But yeah, ideally it should be at least 3 months. However, that is whatever time period you're comfortable with. So if it takes 6 months, it takes 6 months. And then how does this process start? Well, as you start the process, you're already distributing print ads just as you are today. It's just that we're going to encourage you to use all the digital marketing tools that are available to you to inform your shoppers that you actually have more specials, better offers, more frequent deals. while you still have print ads, so that you can use print ads to help promote all of the various programs that you have available for them. Now, in starting a print-to-digital migration, you really have two choices, and they're pretty simple. Choice one is what every store that we're working with, for the most part, is doing today, and I'll call that going solo. That you just decide, as an independent operator, you decide what you're going to promote, when you can promote it with digital, and that for stores that want to take the migration path on their own and not be in a wave with others, that's perfectly fine, and we want to make sure that we're there to help you with whatever digital technology help you need, and including the production of any kind of promotions that you want. As in the past, we'll be there to help you with that if you decide that you're going to go solo. The benefits of going solo are that you select the digital technologies you want to use. You pick and choose any technology you want to use, and you select your own items that you're going to promote digitally, and when you're going to promote it, and for how long, and you go to service desk, as many of you are doing, or most everyone is doing today, and order those items and schedule them, and then we charge you for the production time to go ahead and do each of those. So it's really no change from what you're doing today. Now, the negative of going solo is that although you have the opportunity of doing everything on your own and selecting the time frames and all of that, is that our experience is most stores do not want to handle all the digital marketing, item selection, the details, the setup, the scheduling, that most stores, especially single store operators, don't have dedicated digital marketing staff to go ahead and handle the scheduling. And that the second potential negative of going solo is that there's no future opportunity for vendor or consumer packaged goods digital marketing funds to flow back to the store. No matter how large the store is, General Mills is not going to work with an individual store who's promoting a brand for them. That there really needs to be a group of stores that are all promoting the same thing as a chain in order to qualify for any CPG funding. However, it may not be important for stores that are going solo to, even think about getting CPG funding, but it's not going to be available for single stores just doing what they want to do week to week. And lastly, digital marketing solutions are more expensive when they're ordered a la carte from menu pricing. Now, there's no change as to what those prices are today versus what they are tomorrow in terms of what does an e-blast cost, what does a text message cost. That's staying the same. It's just that there's a better opportunity when we talk about choice two to perhaps save some money and make it less expensive. So choice one is go solo, and we will work with you on that. And it's just a matter of scheduling out your promotions each week and turning up the needle to make sure that you're doing more digital promotions while you're beginning to cut back your distribution. Choice two is to join what we'll call a DVC. DVC is a digital virtual chain. And by DVC, we mean that it's a virtual chain in that like-minded independents are sharing resources. There's a plan that helps all the stores each week and makes it easier so that if there's 100 stores in the group or 50 stores in the group, you don't have 50 different ideas to try to pick the best item. That there's one item that's selected and everyone in the group can follow it. And the pluses or pros of a digital virtual group is that there's a lower cost, because obviously if we're working with 50 individual stores creating 50 different campaigns, then each of those 50 stores are paying for it, as opposed to saying for this digital virtual group, we're going to do this week. This is going to be the text message. The expense is substantially lower to those members of that group. Another positive of a DVC is that all technology tools are available for all generations. So it's not going down a menu and saying, I think I'll do some text messages for a while, and then I'll try some e-blast, and then I'll keep my Facebook post up. All of the technology tools and all of the production is included in that. The third point is it does not inhibit or change in any way what any store is already doing in terms of marketing. Stores continue to market what they want to market at the prices they want to, when they want to do it. And that if they're on their print to digital path and they've decided that for 6 months they want to go with both digital and print, as most stores are doing today, they just continue to do what they're doing and view this as an overlay, that these digital promotions are on top of what the stores are already doing. And the stores can pick and choose what they want, so they're not sacrificing what they're already doing. It should be looked at as a bonus on top of what they're doing. Our estatements are that affiliated food stores, for the most part, would save between $18,000 a year up to $250,000 per year if they went to store copies only, or if they stopped distributing insert ads. So there's still an ad that's still on the website. It's still being emailed to all the customers. And in most cases, there's the printed copy of that ad that's available in store, but there's a pretty substantial saving, and it's a big portion of this is in distribution expense. Yes, there is some savings on print expense, but most of the dollars are saved in the distribution. And that any size store and any volume store can participate in this, in a digital virtual chain. It's just more stores and more consumers are being touched by digital promotions. Doesn't matter if they're big stores or small stores. The one negative that I came to mind, or a con of a digital virtual chain, is that although stores can do anything that they want and continue to do it, by being part of a chain, you are agreeing that you're going to be along with others that are in your DVC to run some promotions each week or events each week with the rest of the group, so that it can be promoted to all the stores within that group. And we're not talking about here's 50 items that everybody's got to run and this is the price. That's not what we're talking about. We're saying that there's about 10 to 12 items or events that by being part of this DVC they can participate in, and that they will agree that yes, if the text message is this message, that sure, we'll do it. Now that store may decide to send out their own text message as well. They can do that. But that's one part of being to get those savings and to be able to have the opportunity to talk to CPGs about funding. Then there's the one element that yes, I'm willing to go ahead and go along with a larger group on about 10 to 12 items each week. So, go solo. It is a little more expensive, and it does require someone in the store to do their promotional planning, just as it does today, or join the group. Yes, there's lower expenses, and that it doesn't impact what the store's able to do. So, what do the members of the DVC need to honor so that over a period of time they're strengthening their digital marketing programs in each store, they're getting more consumers that are interested in their digital promotions and less dependent on the print ads. So it is around the 10 items. That would include a weekly e-blast that the group would be sending out to all the stores in as many states as need be that are involved in it, but they're all running the same e-blast once a week. And they're also have up to an 8-item digital ad that's primarily would be used for stimulating weekend business. And it doesn't need to be 8 items. It could be 6 items or 4 items or 2 items, but something to drive business on weekends. And so it would be promotional items that can help draw some traffic in on the weekends. And then 1 weekly text deal promotion. Those would be sent out to everyone in the DVC, all the subscribers to the stores involved in the DVC. In addition to those items, there are things that will happen for stores in the DVC, which will, again, help strengthen their digital platform and weaken the dependency on print distribution. For the DVC, the group will get 1 monthly promotional website, completely separate from the store website, that's themed for the month, and it may be for the seasons or for holidays, different kinds of events. But that is customized for that DVC. Again, here's an opportunity that in the future, the DVC can potentially get CPG funding to offset the cost. We have not baked any of that in, but it's a tool that's available. The purpose of the promotional website is to drive traffic and to provide great content to consumers. And it's something that is not a flash in the pan. It's a month-long campaign that all the stores can participate in. Another thing that members of the DVC get is they receive 10 customized digital signage, movies, animations to promote those kinds of things, to promote the seasons, holidays, special offers, so that you're tying digital promotions together on your Facebook page, in your digital ads, on a promotional website, and in store on digital signage. The way that we believe is the easiest path for stores when they're ready to start that print to digital migration is to participate in a DVC, and the DVC that we've come up with, we call it Digital Fusion. Digital Fusion, if you look at the diagram that's over here on the left side of the screen, this inner circle of technologies are all the technologies that are included in Digital Fusion and available to everybody who is in the DVC. So if they're currently participating in some of these things today and paying MSC for those services, then those things will be, those technologies are included in the Digital Fusion program. They still can use all of those technologies to do things on their own in their store, just as they always have, but all of these are included. So as an example, Social Octane. If someone's in the Digital Fusion group and they currently do not have Social Octane, it comes with it. They don't have to use it, but it comes with it, and they won't pay a subscription fee. If they do join the DVC and they already have Social Octane, they won't pay any future subscription fees. So everything's comprehensive. It includes the website, the hosting and the maintenance. It includes Zoom online shopping, the curbside pickup program. That's included. Online shopping is a must-have for stores that are looking to capture incremental sales and to not lose sales, not just to Amazon, but to others. And we've incorporated it into the Digital Fusion program, the curbside pickup program. It includes Social Octane subscription. It includes digital signage. Any person or any store that's involved in Digital Fusion or the DVC, they will receive 3 digital signage players. For 5 years, we've sold these digital signage players for $500 a piece, and those are included for anyone that's in the group, so that they can use them to promote anything that's in our library, as well as run the promotions that will be programmed to help support the monthly microsite that we talked about, the promotional website, or any other events that the DVC is promoting. So that's, the digital signage players are included, and the access to the software and the playlist. That's all included. Bright Aisle, if the store, most stores already have Bright Aisle. If they don't, they have Bright Aisle, and we include 4 program beacons. And text deals, if they don't already have a text message program, we do the setup for free, because it'll be needed to go ahead and perform in the future, and so that all the stores in the DVC can get behind a weekly text deal. And also the weekly special delivery e-blast is included with the analytics. So if the store is currently paying us $25 a week for a special delivery e-blast, they can continue to do that. It doesn't mean they have to stop it, but the group is going to be sending out 1 special delivery e-blast every week, so they may not need to do more than 1. And then also, as I mentioned earlier, a monthly themed promotional website is available to the group to go ahead and promote special events or seasonal items, holidays. The purpose for the DVC is to get more consumers, touch more consumers who are currently not being touched by print, and to do it at a significantly lower cost than what stores are paying today. Now, specifically on the things that are included for the DVC, Digital Fusion. Every store does get online shopping. They get a $500 credit. That's what we charge now for the basic program, one-time build cost. And they get a $100 a month credit, which is what we currently charge for the basic curbside pickup program. If they decide that they want the premium program, we just charge that store only the difference. But everyone in the group would get this at no out-of-pocket cost and no ongoing cost if they're okay with the basic program. On the promotional microsite, this would most likely be, as the group starts up, would most likely be more thematic and more meal events and more content than it is price and item. It's a month-long microsite that, as here the example you see, is health and nutrition, holiday baking, barbecue season, economy meals, quick and easy meals. We come up with theme events, and those that are in the group will have their logo on the microsite, links from their main website to this website, the promotional website, and we'll also work with the group members if there's any interest in doing like a sweepstakes or a contest. In this case with Kraft, it was giving away a Weber grill. So it's a way for stores to promote digitally and try to reach out to more people. This can be promoted on stores' Facebook sites. Hey, did you know that you could win a gas grill? Go to our site and get recipes and enter the contest. On the in-store digital signage, each store would get, this is a picture of what our new digital media player looks like. It's HTML5 capable, so it's a step up from, we manufacture these ourselves, and it's a step up from what we have now. Every store gets 3 of these, And for the group, we are producing 10 animations each week for the ag group's use. And it's not necessarily, again, price an item. It could be things to support those themed events. But each store can use these 3 digital signage media players however they want in their store. It's something that each member can use without the cost of the players and without the cost of the software. Something else that I'm real excited about is that members of this group were able to do things less expensively for the group than we can for an individual store. And we have the ability to change the look of the home page. And I'm going to jump out of the presentation for a second, if I can. Well, maybe I can't. Well, I was going to show some examples, but
Okay.
you know of an easy way or where's it at? Okay, screen up there. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Let's go back to this. How do I do that? Basically, you've probably seen them on the web where there's like a background photo transparency, and what we're able to do is with the seasons, we're able to change that transparency in the background so that the website can look different every quarter or every month that we decide to put on these overlays, and I think it just makes the website a lot more appealing than what they look today. In terms of how do we reach more people than what we're reaching on print today, what we are doing, it's optional, and I know with Janet here and others that are working with stores that are going through migrations, it's up to each store, but we have the ability to, through a third-party company, to promote the store and promote their featured items on websites outside of the store's website to get people who currently are not going to your store website, but they may be going to another website, and you've all seen it where there's a way that you can see what featured items are and go to bring that customer to your website. In terms of the effectiveness of digital versus print, the research that I've seen shows that a printed ad for every 1,000 prints, there's the potential to generate 60 incremental shopping trips. So if you're printing 3,000 ads, in theory, there's the possibility of having 180 people see that and have them make a trip to go ahead and come to your store because maybe it's a featured item, although not many people are seeing it. On digital distribution of ads, it can generate about a quarter of the number of incremental shopping trips per 1,000 impressions. However, it's so much less expensive to reach out to new people digitally than it is with the printed ad, that for a store that's doing $120,000 a week, $120,000 a week in volume, and we're not recommending $100 a week in distribution expense. That's far, far, far greater than anyone on this call. Everyone is paying a lot more than $100 a week to distribute print ads. But if it were $50 or $100 each week, we'll say 100 here, that's going to generate 166,000 impressions digitally on other local websites. Now, at 0.9% incremental trips driven, that ends up equating to 150 incremental trips. So the leverage is that it's so much more inexpensive to promote digitally that you can get a lot more impressions and reach people who may have never ever been to your website and may not know what your featured items are. But we can, on a budget of $50 to $100 a week, if the store wants, it's optional, then they could begin promoting outside of their own website. Here's an example of Pick and Save, who is currently doing it, where they're getting banner ads placed on local Milwaukee area sites. And on the right, Harps Foods, who's down in Arkansas and areas eastern Oklahoma, being able to put it on a banner ad on the sports page or sports site so that people can see what's on sale. They can click it and go directly to the store's ad or to the store's website. There's also the ability to go ahead and place your featured items or messages on Facebook pages of people. Like on the left here, there's two different ads that are using the same service to go ahead and be on local websites, as well as, and this is Petoskey, Wisconsin news.com, banner ads on top of the website, and this is Super One Foods, who's up in northern Minnesota, buying banner ads as well. So the idea is getting your ads out distributed digitally and getting them in front of a lot more people than what we're currently doing with print. This is going to be nearly impossible to read, but I'll certainly send it to anyone who's interested. And what I've done is looked at, for stores that would want to go solo and plan their own promotions, and we can help them execute them and get the design done for them. Over a course of a year, using everything that is available to them, it would be $11,500 a year with $750 upfront expense. The $750 upfront expense, $500 of that would be a recommendation to be on online shopping, and then the other $250 on upfront fees for things like text messaging. There is, going solo, a reminder, there's no opportunity for CPG sponsorship, and it excludes the production costs. So you know, there are some other costs involved. Being part of a DVC, it's $100 per store per week for everything, all the technology, all of the production, and the upfront that would have been required for online shopping, the digital media players, all of that bundled in. So there's no upfront expense. It's $100 per store per week. And although it hasn't been factored in, there is a potential for future CPG sponsorship. Obviously there is, because even on that monthly microsite, there's certainly going to be opportunities for CPGs to pull money in to help sponsor those kind of events. So if there is CPG vendor performance sponsorship available, how would that work? Well, more and more companies, more and more CPGs are offering it, but it's for performance. Today we have the most complete set of digital services in the industry. No one has all the tools bundled into one comprehensive program under one service desk so that the stores can go ahead and pick and choose what they want, and they can perform. And but in order to do the performance so that you can begin getting CPGs for that group, all the stores have to perform as a digital chain. So that's the 10 items or so every week. Ideally, in the perfect world, all stores do have the T-Log scan pullback capabilities that can be transmitted for proof of performance. It's not mandatory or required, but long-term, every DVC, not just Digital Fusion at MSC, but any group in America that decides that they want to band retailers together to try to get this funding, the more stores that can get the T-Log data pulled back, more performance monies that can be paid. And so we have the capabilities of helping the Digital Fusion Ag Group retailers perform, and can assist them in working with those that companies that we're familiar with that have that T-log scan back capabilities if the stores don't have it today. I've put together a slide here that shows if the store is currently printing, in this example here, 3,000 ads. I've estimated the average cost for printing and distribution. Now, this changes around the country, but you probably know what your print and distribution cost is today because you're paying for it every week. But I've estimated it at 14.8 cents. And if that's the case, then the store with 3,000 ads is paying around $444 a week, which is $23,000 a year. That would compare to being in a DVC, that's $5,200 a year. So the savings to that store is about $17,800 a year. Going down to the stores that are printing 30,000 ads, the savings is about close to $250,000 a year. So it's a big number, but you really have, if you're going to do print to digital, if you're going to do it solo, make sure that you've got some strong promotions. And if you decide you want to be part of a DVC, just make sure that you've got the capability of making sure that you're okay with promoting those 10 items or 12 items, because if you're not, then you're not part of a chain, and the CPGs in the future won't be able to funnel back any money to your group. In this case here, I'm not factoring any money in from CPG, so it's not included in any of the calculations. And wrapping up, if anyone is interested in doing a print to digital migration, it's really a matter of just getting with us and saying, I feel more comfortable doing a solo program, and I think I want to start January 1st. What do I need to do? And we'll work with you on, here's what we recommend each week, and we'll help you get started on that path. You tell us what you're looking for, and we'll work with you. If you are interested in becoming part of a DVC or Digital Fusion Ag Group, then you need to let us know that you're interested. And in order for us to have a DVC where those savings are available for that group, to have all of the production and all of the technology included, there's a minimum requirement of 50 stores. We need a minimum of 50. Originally, when we put this program together, it was 100 stores minimum. We can do it with 50 stores to get started, because we know that these groups grow pretty rapidly once they get going. So you need to let us know that you're interested. And then you need to decide that you are going to go on print to digital. You need to let us know what wave you're interested in joining, so that as we schedule webinars specific to the migration and specific to what the Digital Fusion Ag Group is planning. In November, it's going to be Thanksgiving for the month, and in December it's going to be holiday baking, or whatever those topics are, that everyone in the group will hear what we're planning, and they'll understand why the e-blasts have been selected and why the text messages have been selected. And so we need to know which wave you're interested in joining. And again, it doesn't commit you to starting or stopping your print distribution on any date. It just gets you in where you can begin getting cultivating more and more customers to digital. And then 3, the understanding is you need to agree to be part of the group, that you will agree to have that microsite run and to follow those items that others in the group are going to be using. Now, I'm saying it's not necessarily price an item. We'll probably start with food themes to encourage getting a lot of consumer interested in what the events are. That could tie into the beacon promotions that we'll put together. At some point, when there is the willingness of the group to have CPG sponsorship of any part of it, then yes, then someone will need to step forward and be responsible for selecting those prices and items on behalf of the group. Once you start Digital Fusion, keep in mind it doesn't replace what you're doing today. You can continue to do what you're doing now. You can continue to do what you're doing on Facebook and continue. If you have a special e-blast you want to send out, you'll have all the marketing tools, and we encourage you to use them. It's just that from a planning perspective and making sure that that your plan is cohesive, we think it makes sense for retailers to be part of a larger group so that there are some synergies there. So with that, Rob, I'm going to turn it back to you because you'll have the questions as they come up, and we'll do our best to respond here. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jim. I think we'll just go ahead and park the phone for just a minute. Anybody who has questions, now's the time. Make sure you're raising your hand or start working on typing in and sending in your questions, and we'll be looking for those and try to get you all your answers here. We've got about a little less than 10 minutes before we really need to wrap up, but we can always stop sooner if the material was really covered good and we don't have many questions.
I don't know if we covered it really good or if we have people that are asleep, but one of the things I'll just say one more time is that when it comes to your print distribution, be looking at what those numbers are, because as those expenses continue to rise, just know that fewer and fewer people are seeing those printed ads, and that a print to digital migration doesn't mean that you need to do something immediately. But if you're serious about shifting more to digital, 2017 would be a good time to start that plan. Get going sooner rather than later. Don't wait until you are told by the local newspaper that they're no longer going to be publishing, or they can't distribute it, or your ads won't arrive to the households on the day that your ad breaks. It's going to arrive the day after. You just need to make sure you get out in front of it so that you're not playing catch up.
Jim, a question here from Laura. She wants you to spend just a little bit more time on the cost of everything. She kind of thought that the cost was just a little bit confusing.
Okay. Digital Fusion, the cost is $100 per store per week, and it includes all the technologies that we have. So that $100 includes the technology, availability for every store in the group to use all those technologies. Number two, it includes the production expense so that we can go ahead and produce the digital promotions. We'll design and create the monthly website for the group and the e-blast and the text messages, and we'll prepare social media promotional messages for the group. And it also includes the expense of out-of-pocket items that stores have had to pay for in the past, such as the 3 media players. 3 media players are $1,500. Stores in Digital Fusion don't pay that. As long as they're part of the group, they get the 3 media players to use. If they don't have text messaging, then they don't pay the $100 setup fee that's included. They get 4 beacons so that the stores can use them, and they can also be used for the DVC group. But it's just a flat $100, and it includes online shopping, the upfront fee, and the ongoing monthly fee. So the economics of it is, if a store is currently using 2 or 3 of the technologies, but not all of them. Under this program, they get the use of all of them, so they can decide if they want to use any of them on their own. But on online shopping alone, if you were to go out and call the 4 online shopping companies that are out there today, you won't find any company that will sell you online shopping for under $150 a week. And we're talking $100 a week for online shopping plus all the other things that you may already be paying for, plus items that you may have decided you weren't going to use because you either didn't feel it was important or didn't want to spend the money for it. But everything is included. It's all in at $100 flat per store per week.
Jim, what becomes of the media players that some of the stores have already purchased?
Well, a lot of stores already have media players, and they own them. They paid for them. They own them. They can continue to use them. We will send them 3 more media players, so if they want, they'll have 3 more media players to use. Those media players are available to the stores as long as they are part of the DVC, because, like I've said, if the DVC agrees that during holiday baking month that there's going to be content talking about, or showing holiday baking scenes and that, we need those images to be showing. So on the playlist for those 3 players, there may be some animations that will need to show up, but if the stores already have media players, they own them. They're theirs. They can continue to use them. We're just allowing everyone who's in the DVC to, if they don't have them, or if they do and they want more, there's 3 available for every store.
Jim, you kind of would like to get 50 stores to get this started. Let's say that it's a wild success and we have 300 stores that sign up. Will there be multiple Digital Fusion groups, or is the pool then 300 stores that are in the Digital Fusion group?
Well, the price, if it's 100 stores or 300 stores, is a flat $100. If there ends up being over, well, I have to look at our price grid, but like 700 or 800 stores, there is some savings, but we're talking like $10 a week. So it's really not substantial. But what can happen is it may be that there's one group that is 50 stores, another group that is 80 stores, and another group that's 130 stores. As long as we get that, ideally we want 100 stores in the group, because when you're sitting across from the CPG in the future, you don't want to say, I've got a group of 7 stores here and 13 stores there. We have 100 stores, and that if you can get the group $5,000, we can feature you on the microsite. We can send out a beacon promotion. We can have 10 digital signage animations promoting the event, and all these stores can perform. So as long as we get 50, then we can get it started, and we can add to that group. And if there's a reason that there should be 6 groups, each of 80 stores or whatever, that's fine. We just need to get enough critical mass in that group that they're going to be able to have a chance to get CPG funds.
Okay, this next one is from, it's either Dove or Dave, I'm not sure, but it's a lot of questions at once here. But from what I can see, I think there's some confusion with the print ads that they're doing today through affiliated. Will those still stay the same compared to the ad that you were presenting during the presentation, which was only 10 to 12 items? Can you talk a little bit about what they're doing today with print ad,
Sure.
converting their current ad to digital, or do they scrap it and go to a completely new and different ad?
No, the stores today, the stores going forward with Digital Fusion, they've already got a print ad. and that's being posted on their website. If they choose to continue that, it's still going to be on their website. What we include as up to 8 items is really not the foundation of bringing customers to the store. It is something that we believe is important to drive business on weekends, to get people to get into the stores on the weekends. And it may not be 8 items. It may just be 4 items or 5 items, but it's up to 8 items. And it's a digital ad that is digitally distributed, just like your weekly ads are distributed right now. Think of it like a 2-day sale or 3-day sale. It's just supplemental to what you're doing now. Because we have some stores that will be part of the group that will not have a bona fide print ad, and that they may use this ad as the only way they're going to communicate with their customers, and that's pretty risky. But if a store has an ad, whether affiliated is designing it or if an ad agency designing it, that would be completely outside of what we're doing here. Here we're talking about, for this group, we would put together this 8-item weekly digital ad that would drive business on weekends. There may be some stores that will continue doing ads that will be distributed just as they are today, and they may have 120 items in it, and other stores in the group that may have a weekly ad that has 30 items. We want to stay out of that. Let each store decide what they feel is right for their store. This is just to drive additional business on weekends.
All right, we're kind of running out of time, and really there's only 2 questions left, one from Eric and one from Laura, and it's kind of a tough one to tackle. That's why I saved it for last, Jim. But maybe we won't be able to answer this one today, but can you talk a little bit about the AWG merger and how everything that we spoke about and presented today will be affected? Will it be affected? Is it all going to still happen kind of how we're laying it out, or is there anything you can share in regards to that?
Well, I guess there is. I've had a couple of meetings with David Smith, the CEO of AWG, early on, and David has encouraged me and MSC to continue on the same path that we've been on, and to continue to develop the programs that we've been developing, and that from where I sit, today we don't have any AWG stores on our programs. So there's a tremendous upside for MSC in showing their stores what might be available to them with MSC. But it doesn't change our plans at all. We have developed Digital Fusion over a period of time, and Matt and I, prior to any of the recent activities happening, we met with David at NGA and explained that we were putting this program together and that it's something that would be available to wholesalers around the country. And we did make an initial presentation to them on it. And it's something that we believe that obviously there's a great opportunity to get a large number of stores interested in a DVC. As long as they have some things in common. It's difficult to do it from stores that are buying from different wholesalers all wanting to be part of the same DVC. But I'm very optimistic that there's going to be a great opportunity to get a lot of stores in groups and continue to do what they need to do locally, but also be part of a DVC.
Okay, I think that's a good one to end on. Thanks a lot, Jim, and everybody from MSC, and thank you to everybody that attended the seminar today. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rob.